You're back with another one. This time we got top 10 fairy tale fights featuring the voice actor of Natsu. I watched Mojo. See, Eden Zero has been on my mind, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and see if what point I should put Eden Zero on the watch list. Because like if I'm sitting here watching Fairy Tale and I'm like, you know what, I did mess with this, I messed with that, I messed with that. Eden Zero's gonna be more of that, so might as well just final season moments. This is definitely 2 years ago. This might have to be next. Let's get into it. Like that video, sub to the channel. Like this video, sub to the channel too. We into it.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we are counting down our picks for the top 10 fairy tale fights.
Oh, he really is doing the voice too.
We publish new content every day,
oh,
so be sure to subscribe to
that kind of throws it off.
The bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be looking at the magical brawls that make this anime.
Oh, I love that art. Fake ass fight.
Get ready to see the members of the Fairy Tale Guild kick a colossal amount of ass, with a fair amount of spoilers along the way. I'm Todd Haberkorn, the voice of Natsu Dragneel, and it continues to be an
That's how you say Haberkorn?
I'm thrilled to be on with everyone in the show, from Tyler Walker, the director, writer, producer, to Jeremy, Lucy, Tia, Happy, Colleen, Ezra, and Gray, Newton. Congrats to Kyle Phillips, who is taking over the directing on this final season. And last but not least, thank you to every one of you who continue to support us on this magical animated adventure.
It was definitely before the final season, so nothing gonna be from that war arc, which is pretty lit.
Number 10, Natsu and Gajiel versus Loxus.
Or invasion. I don't know if it was a war, but it was a war. It was definitely a war.
How do you expect to become our master if you can't get along with the rest of us? Nothing brings people together quite like the threat of imminent electrocution. Let me take care of Loxus, okay? You stay out of this.
No deal. I got a score to settle.
I'm gonna get tired of hearing Natsu's voice just because he's voice acting and they're gonna use clips, bruh.
It's down to the two former enemy dragon slayers to put aside their stubbornness and win the day.
Iron Dragon!
Loxus certainly brings the thunder, but it's still not enough to stop Natsu from showing him just how strong a rookie mage can be when he's got the undying support of his guild. All in all, Loxus just needed a bit of tough love, with a lot of fire thrown into the mix and a couple of punches and maybe some sandaled kicks. Just tough love. Number 9, Ezra versus Kagura versus Minerva.
Heaven's wheel! Pentagram sword! Crush sword! Arch enemy! Blast sword!
Why have just 2 femme fatales when you can make it a hat trick? Especially if Urza Scarlet is involved. This 3-way face-off sees everyone's favorite armor-switching battle maiden clash swords at light speed with the fearsome warrior Kagura. Only for Minerva to drop in and show off her own fearsome magic.
You're running from
I hated Minerva.
You call yourself a queen.
A true queen arranges the pawns to suit her strategy.
From there, Urza finds herself
That was facts,
engaged
though.
in a brutal onslaught, where not only does she have to deal with the sorrowful past shared between herself and Kagura, but also best Minerva's underhanded tactics. Of course, Urza wouldn't be Urza if she didn't manage to overcome them both.
It's also very true. Urza was the rawest character in the show. If you ask me, like, who can win in a fight, this person or Urza is Urza. I'm gonna take Urza 90% of the time, unless it's like story. If you're doing like Naruto comparisons, like Kakazu versus Hidan, who's gonna win? It's gonna be Urza is gonna win for most of these type of.
One thing's for sure, he was no pushover. His mission to obtain Nirvana ended up throwing Fairy Tale into chaos. This proved to be a fatal mistake, since he soon found himself cornered with a less than pleased Natsu, who just so happened to be infused with the power of Dragon Force.
This boy is a true Dragon Slayer.
Despite Zero's best efforts, not even his inescapable darkness was enough to slow down Natsu, who proceeded to tear him to pieces with absolute ferocity. Think angry chihuahua who's been denied his dinner.
Oh yeah, this is early on before they named it. Okay, I got you. I
Number
got you.
7,
I was confused.
Urza
What
versus Azuma.
Now are you going to give me the fight?
Urza again? See you go. See there you go, right there, bruh. Only person who can beat Urza in a fair one-on-one fight is Natsu with a friendship buff. That's the only time. And if you know if his friends are on the line and Urza's standing in the way, that's the only time he could beat Urza. And no one else beating Urza. I might be overhyping Urza, but like, I mean, you see the shit she did in the show? I'm moving on.
I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I?
One of the strongest members of the 7 kin of Purgatory, this particular lackey of the villainous Hades turned out to be one tough nut to crack, since he was able to take out guild members left, right, and center. No surprise that the one to finally put him in his place was none other than Titania herself. Though even that was easier said than done, since Azuma was able to harness the power of all Tenro Island for himself, almost managing to overwhelm Urza in the process. Of course, her unwillingness
She
to
yummed
lay
that
down
shit
and
right
die
there. She's
soon
like,
turned things around,
you got another
managing
one?
to launch a comeback so impressive that even the island itself backed her up.
Well done.
Number 6, Natsu and Gajeel versus Sting and Rogue.
That was a good one. This is a good. Okay, I remember these fights. Like, they're all so good.
By far
Grand
the
Magic
highlight
Games
of
were
the
my
Grand Magic
favorite.
Games, this battle between 4 Dragon Slayers showed
That Dragon
why
Force
even
looks
after
stupid, though, I'm not gonna
7-year
lie.
absence, Fairy Tail was still the guild to beat. Despite Sting and Rogue boasting some impressive powers of their own, they still weren't able to compare to Gajeel and Natsu's mastery of their respective elements.
This wasn't Natsu with a friendship buff. He's trying to prove his guild
Heck, not even the likes of
ain't
the
trash.
Unison Raiders
Talking trash about his
without
guild, that's a
Natsu's
friendship buff
flame,
right there.
leaving Sabretooth's best and brightest burnt out by the fight's end. The only one who ended up worse for wear is Gajeel, who got shafted on all the glory. Hashtag sorry not sorry.
Hey, wait! What the crap?
Number 5, Wendy versus Ezel.
I was hoping to have a feast. Well.
Oh, the whole demon arc.
Aw, our little princess is all grown up into a dragon slayer who can decimate a demon with her bare hands. While trying to stop the forces of Tartaros,
He did look mad
Wendy
weak, though.
finds herself facing off against a member of the 9 Demon Gates, one who is way too eager to chop her into pieces. With her beloved friend Carla down for the count, Wendy rises to the challenge, managing to tap into the power
Her
of
beloved
Dragon
what?
Force.
Say it with me now. What's that called when her what was down? She got a what buff?
Needless to say, Ezel doesn't
friendship
last very
buff.
long when this pint-sized pink hurricane steps up her game.
I'm surprised they didn't call Eden Zero that.
Number 4, Natsu versus Jalal.
I didn't spend years building this tower just to have some punk tear it down. I won't let you.
Turns out that if you end up making his friends cry, get ready for a homicide. Because no amount of magic, subordinates, or towers of heaven are gonna be enough.
It's the most shonen show, like
Natsu's
trope show
rage.
I've ever
In order
seen.
to save Urza, Natsu pretty much decides to say screw it and ends up unleashing the power of Dragon Force for the very first time.
I feel like it's the writer probably
Given
didn't
the amount of
know
crap that Jalal
what
was
he was
put
doing half the
through,
time. He was just kind of
so
writing as he
starting
went,
to see the smug
and then
bastard
retconned it as
crashing
Dragon
into his
Force.
precious tower. Okay.
You can do it, Jalal. Free
He's like, yeah, when he ate that was actually Dragon Force. Yeah. When he got extra strength out of nowhere, it wasn't just he wasn't determined. It was Dragon Force. Yeah.
Is definitely one of the most brutal.
The true form of the Dragon Slayer.
Number 3, Natsu versus Gajeel.
Then they're gonna add more Dragon Slayers.
Nowadays, we all
Who were the
know
coolest
that these
characters.
two scoundrels get along like a house on fire. And by that we mean they never hesitate to try and burn one another to a crisp. But it wasn't always sunshine and smiles. Back in the day, Gajeel wasn't so much a bad boy as he was a bona fide attack dog, acting on Phantom Lord's behalf.
Are you ready, Fairy?
He's changing dragon skills.
After roughing up his guild mates and kidnapping Lucy, Natsu was more than happy to test his flame against Gajeel's steel.
Not gonna lie, Gajeel my favorite character in all of Fairy Tail.
Levy's future boyfriend just wasn't hard enough to withstand a full-on fiery beatdown.
Pause.
Courtesy of
This is for attacking him and destroying our guild hall!
Number 2, Natsu and Gray versus Mard Gear.
Man, who could be number 1?
The definitive demon, ruler of Tartaros, one of Zaref's most powerful creations. Mard Gear was the full package. That being said, even he wasn't ready for the full force of Natsu and Gray's unbridled, half-naked teamwork.
Pause. Why did you say that? You didn't have to throw in the half-naked part. We was cool knowing, you know, Gray liked to strip, bro. He didn't need to remind us.
He sure put up a hell of a fight, though, managing to overcome their fire and ice before seemingly tearing them asunder inside of his memento mori. Too bad for him that Gray decided to let his inner demon out of the bag, with Natsu really turning up the heat by once again busting out the Dragon Force. Bromance wins the day again. Boom!
Ice demon, zero destruction bow!
Gray did get like
Here are a few
a hard upgrade every time.
Perfect timing.
Every arc he got just a big upgrade. Gray grew up more than anybody in the show.
Take great joy in making you pay. Don't you see I've already paid my price? All I care about is destroying you.
Number 1, Fairy Tail versus Hades.
Dang. That was a good fight. I was just kind of expecting there to be a Edalus fight on here somewhere. I wasn't expecting to be one, but Edalus is pretty cool.
Deadliest villains. So much so that it required the combined
We can
efforts
start,
of
but
all
cool.
of the guild's major players in order to kick him to the curb.
Y'all like Edalus? Let me know if y'all like Edalus.
With Natsu, Gray, Urza, Lucy, Wendy, and even Loxus stepping up to the plate, we were given no shortage of sorcery-filled showdowns as they all banded together to avenge their beloved Gramps. I think I speak for everyone when I say the standout was undoubtedly
Lightning Flame Dragon Ball! Lightning Flame!
That was really cool though, I'm not gonna lie. When Fairy Tail on his shit, it's on his
Do
shit.
you agree with our picks?
When it's like, bro, when they on they stuff, bro, they doing it. They doing it. Dang, there was something I was definitely gonna bring up, but I completely forgot. Completely. Something about Edalus. Oh yeah, Edalus. Edalus is definitely the time where I realized death is not going to happen in this show. There's no one who's going to die, like for real die. There was. If y'all saw the last episode, let me know if y'all was pissed off with what happened with Makarov, because I was just like, bro, of course it's not going. I don't want to spoil, but I'm just be like, bro, like for real, you really gonna go this far? Bro, like the only confirmed deaths or who died before before the show, and her daughter. That was the only death that happened between the beginning of the show and the end of the show. The only death that stuck. Right? The only one that stuck. People, sure, they died. They didn't stick. They came back and they was cool. They was chilling, wheelchair and all. Something like that. I don't know. I'm talking nonsense. I hope y'all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.